Do you feel like you're working all the time and you don't have the money to prove for it? Hi, I'm Emily. We talk about all things budgeting, lifestyle, personal finance here, and today I'm going to walk you through step by step my budgeting 101. Before I found the cash envelope system, I felt like I was working constantly and never had the money to prove it. I always felt like I was trying to catch up on my bills. I was trying to have money to go out and spend time with friends and just was constantly stressed. Then I found the cash envelope system and it changed my life. So if you're anything like me, are you stressed about money? Do you not know where it's going every day? Do you not know how to restrain yourself? If so, this video is for you. Now, if you've watched videos from this community before, you can tell that there are a lot of fancy budgeting items that you can purchase to make budgeting fun, but really all you need today is going to be your paycheck amount, a pen and paper, some envelopes, and some cash, and you'll be able to get started. Why does cash envelope stuffing work? It's a great question. I know a lot of times people don't understand it, especially when I walk into a bar or a restaurant and I whip out an envelope full of cash. This day and age, I feel like everyone's using cards. But what I love about cash envelopes and why it works is that it restricts you from overspending. You can't overspend what's not with you. You can swipe a card all day long, but if you have a budgeted amount of cash and you bring it with you, that's it, that's all you got. It creates these speed bumps so that if you do want to overspend in a category, you really have to think about it first and make that conscious choice. Again, takes the mindlessness out of just swiping a card. It gives every dollar a job. And if you're anything like me, you feel guilty taking that dollar away from where it's supposed to be. It makes those trade-offs visible in real time. Okay, here's where I know a lot of people get confused. There are 3 different categories when it comes to the cash envelope system, and I'm gonna walk you through each. You have your non-negotiables. These are things that you must pay to keep your life running as smoothly as it does. The second is spending, which is your weekly or variable expenses. And then your sinking funds are your planned future expenses. Think like you can dip into your variable, but you can't really dip into your sinking. Okay, now enough with this chit chat. Let's go to the downward view and I'm gonna show you step by step how to budget a paycheck using actual numbers. So like I said before, there are a lot of fancy tools that you can purchase on Etsy, through Ko-fi, a bunch of other retail sites that are amazing, and it's great to help small businesses. But to get started, it should be stress-free. You can just go in with pen and paper. The first thing you need to acknowledge is your pay period. How often are you getting paid? Do you get paid monthly? Do you get paid bi-weekly? Do you get paid weekly? In this instance, we're gonna say that we get paid weekly. So that means anytime we have a monthly expense, think like rent, utilities, those things, we're gonna divide that total amount by 4, sorry, not half. By 4. So let's say every week we get paid $1,000. Nice round number. If we go over to what our bills look like for the month, these are my total bills for the month in this example. So we have per month I'd have to pay $900 per rent, $80 for electric, $90 for car insurance, phone $60, and minimum debt payment is $50. Those are going to be considered my non-negotiables. These are my bills. So now, flipping back over to our budget sheet, I have those listed right here as my non-negotiables. Because I know those totals, I'm going to divide everything by 4, and that's going to be how much I put in weekly. If we start with $1,000 a week, 225 of that is dedicated towards rent, $20 is dedicated towards electric, 23 is dedicated towards car insurance, 15 of that is dedicated to phone, and 13 is dedicated to my minimum debt payment, which leaves me $704 remaining for the rest of my categories. Always start with your non-negotiables because these are the things that you can't live without. So it's really important to make sure that you're budgeting for these outright. Sorry about the dog. Next area we're going to talk about is spending. So out of that 704, we're not even acknowledging the 1,000 as our total anymore. That money's already given a job. So we're starting with 704, and let's say for groceries we need $140 again per week. For gas, let's say $40. For eating out, like $25. Sorry about the dog, he's just gonna keep barking. And I am on limited time to film this. Household would get $20 and personal would get $20. So those would be the amounts that I would typically spend. That's how I come up with that number, those numbers. So we're gonna take that out of our 704. $140 dedicated to groceries, $40 dedicated to gas. Eating out is $25. Household would be $20, and personal would be $20. So that leaves me with $459 for my sinking funds. And this we would repeat every week as well. What's beautiful about the cash envelope system is that everything can be adjusted week to week, month to month, year to year. So you have total flexibility, you decide these numbers, but you're giving yourselves, again, these roadblocks to keep you from overspending in those categories. So one piece of advice is just be super realistic with yourself. If you think that you're gonna spend more than $25 eating out every week, that's something that I struggle with. If you guys watch my cash envelopes stuffings, be honest with yourself about how much you need for that category, and don't be afraid to make adjustments week to week, month to month, year to year. So now onto our sinking funds. These we are going to be slowly adding money to over time to grow as large as possible. Because I have $459 left, let's just say we put 100 of that in each category. So that's car maintenance, birthdays, beauty, and annual subscriptions. So we would take 400 out for each, and those would keep some nice round numbers that would grow pretty well. So what's left? We have $59 left to budget, and where to put it is the grand old question. That's really up to you. There are lots of different ways that you can use that money. It is important in this system to be giving every job a dollar a job. So sometimes people will let that sit in their bank account and create what's called a buffer, which means you're not taking that money out in cash, you're leaving it in your bank account so that instead of taking out the full 1,000, you're only taking out, what is it, 941, and then you don't have to worry about potentially overdrawing your account. If you are in debt, you could put that money extra towards a debt payment. So we only accounted for our minimum debt payments up here. So you could add that every week to your minimum debt payment and pay down that principal a little bit faster. Or you can apply it to a savings account or invest it or donate it. You really have total flexibility there, but it is important to acknowledge kind of what your goals are with your money and use whatever's left to tackle that specific goal. So let's say it is debt payoff. So you're going to roll that into your minimum debt payments, and that will get you squared away. And that is pretty much the whole budgeting system. If you have a variable income like me, you're going to change these numbers week to week based on how much you got paid. And if you're in a monthly or bi-weekly pay period, instead of dividing your main numbers by 4, you're going to divide either by 2 or just set your month goal. I know a lot of times people that get paid monthly like to do this budget as if they got paid every 4 weeks so that they don't overspend, which is something to consider. I guess you could do the same for bi-weekly too. It's just being super aware of your money every single week. I think that's really key. There are a lot of other things that you can do when you're doing the cash envelope system, tracking your money, where you're going, doing the debt snowball method, anything like that. There's a lot that we could talk about, but I've probably talked your ear off at this point. So if you're starting your cash envelope journey, I hope that this was helpful. You're definitely not behind. You're building a system that is made for you. Let me know in the comments down below if you are new to this system, what seems more daunting? Is it picking the categories or deciding how much money goes into each? I can definitely do a part 2 talking about the different budgeting methods that you can use within the cash envelope system to help you decide how much money goes where. I've tried a bunch at this point, so I'm happy to chat through those. And if you guys want to see this in action and you're new to my channel, I do post weekly cash stuffings where I budget my actual amounts every week into my binders. So if you guys would like to see that, please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss another video. And I will see you in the next one.